Hi girls, welcome back to a new video. I'm so happy that you're here because after today's video, you are about to 10x your productivity in a way that fuels you versus burns you out. If you're somebody who feels like you're doing 1,000,001 things all at once, then today's video is absolutely for you. I'm going to walk you through my exact daily planning method. And this method has helped me grow my business, grow my content creation, stay grounded in my wellness routine as a functional nutritionist. That is the foundation of the way I'm able to show up here on a day-to-day and week-to-week basis. In addition to that, actually enjoy my life and spend time with my family. So for those of you who've been here for a really long time, then you know that I was a solo mom for my son's first 5 years of his life and for my daughter's first 2 years of her life. So I was a solo mom to 2 children while working and then eventually becoming a stay-at-home mom and starting my own business and nutrition practice. And so during that time, I had to become super efficient and effective with my time, whether it was batching my time, which we're going to get into that, doing the things that moved the needle the most, and overall simplified my routine. There are a ton of boxes that need to get checked in all of our lives. And I know that you can absolutely feel those sentiments, but at the same time, simplifying our routine, finding ways to make it all work, which, spoiler alert, there are some seasons where we just quite simply can't make it all work. But what we can do is we can identify the things that need to be done, the must-haves, and from there, we can build out a really beautiful plan that supports you and helps you have energy, clarity, and confidence around the decisions that you're making on a day-to-day basis and the ways that you're effectively using your time. So let's jump right into step one, and that is to identify your number one priority. This number one priority is the one thing that, if done consistently, will move your life forward in the direction that you want. So this would be a really good time to get out your journal to identify your number one priority. So your number one priority is probably going to be very different than your best friend, your sister, your mom, or perhaps even mine. But it's about finding what's going to make you tick and thrive every single day. So for me, my number one priority for the last 16 years is to feel my very best every single day. So every choice that I make ultimately would ladder up to me feeling my absolute best. So for you, maybe it's starting a business, connecting more with family and friends that live out of town. Perhaps it's reclaiming your health. And there's a beautiful platform that you can do that in. And that is our Living Well membership, that for 40 cents a day, you can get access to thousands of hormone healing recipes, the most incredible community, monthly challenges, and our 5 courses where I hold your hand every single step of the way to help you reach your very own health and wellness goals. So for me, my number one priority every single day is to feel my absolute best, because when I feel my best, I am able to show up as the best mother, the best wife, the best sister, daughter, friend, and practitioner to each and every one of you. If I don't feel my best, then I will have to cut corners in every area of my life that is important to me. So feeling my best is critical, and it is the absolute foundation and my number one priority every single day. So now that I've identified my number one priority, this goes into so many different aspects on how I'm able to show up as my best self every day. So that means that I wake up every single morning before my children. I am not innately a morning person by any means, but I always say this, that when you are able to carve out that time for yourself in the morning before your children wake up, it will make you feel settled. I've had my lemon ginger tonic. I've had my minerals at that point. I've taken my probiotic, and I've had a protein coffee. So by the time my children wake up, I have already had the most beautiful, sacred time to myself that helps me feel my absolute best. So then I can show up 100% for my family and for my business and for my nutrition clients. All of that is very important. And so whatever it is for you, here is the biggest takeaway I have. Whatever your number one priority is, you need to block the time for it every single day. You need to put it in, on your calendar, make it a plan. If it's not a plan, it's probably not going to happen. So you need to make this priority something that's in your calendar every single day. Step 2 to 10xing your productivity is to define your non-negotiables. So now we have our number 1 priority. So right under that, we are going to clearly define our daily non-negotiables. So these are those habits and those routines that support the life and the lifestyle that you want to live on a daily basis. Think of these as your lifestyle anchors. So for me, every single morning, a daily non-negotiable is 1, waking up before my children, and then enjoying the lemon ginger tonic. That is an absolute must for me, and a daily non-negotiable that I have not missed in over 10 years. Another daily non-negotiable for me, and this is something I've been sharing about for over 4 years, and that is hitting at least 12,000 steps per day. Because when my body is moving, when I'm supporting that lymphatic system, my vascular system, I'm also supporting my nervous system. And I know myself, I can get stuck here at this desk, whether it's filming content, editing content, on client calls, doing the abundance of work that all of us have on technology. It's very easy for me to get stuck. So daily non-negotiable for me is hitting 12K steps per day. So I'm constantly tracking my steps, and that motivates me because, again, it's an anchor as to who I am. 12K steps a day is just part of who Jessica Spiers innately is, because it's something I've been doing every single day for 4 years. So I want you to develop these anchors, these lifestyle anchors that are built into your daily habits and your routines. Are you somebody who wants to run more? Are you somebody who wants to read more? If that's the case, then you need to build in these anchors throughout your day, because it's very easy for all of us to say, like, yeah, I'm somebody who wants to become a runner, or I'm somebody who wants to read a book every single month. But if you don't build it into your routine, if you don't make it a non-negotiable habit, then you're never going to actually achieve that goal. So maybe for you, it will be getting in your daily lemon ginger tonic and enjoying that before your kids wake up, hitting 12K steps per day. Maybe it's reading on a more consistent basis. For me, those things are really important. Additionally, nourishing my body as a functional nutritionist, cooking nourishing meals on a daily basis is just the fiber of who I am, and it's been who I am for the last 16 years. Now, 16 years ago, it wasn't a fluent, easy task for me. I had printables all over my refrigerator. I would print out the superfoods I was trying to get into my diet on a day-to-day basis. I would print out the nutrients that I was trying to include and the food groups that I really wanted to focus on. And so it's all about starting where you are. And that's the beautiful thing about this. If you want to 10x your productivity, where you are today, you're going to get better on a day-to-day basis. You're going to increase your productivity by moving the needle in micro steps or in macro steps. And so it's really something that we want to be conscientious of. So for me, it's that tonic, it's that 12K steps per day, it's nourishing my body, and then it's supporting my hormones with supplementation that makes sense. So as a functional nutritionist who specializes in women's hormone health, who is also certified in nutraceuticals and supplemental science, supplements are something that are really important to me. And being a conscious consumer and somebody who holds myself to very high standards, I am very conscious of the supplements I take on a day-to-day basis. But if I want to show up as my best self, I am somebody who eats very well 99% of the time. But even as somebody with a diet that is rich in phytonutrients, there will always be room to fill in the gaps. And so strategic supplementation is also absolutely a daily non-negotiable. I have a ton of videos on my channel. I will have them linked for you in the description box down below, where I walk through my exact morning supplement lineup. But supplements are really important to me, because if I want to 10x my productivity, I need to feel sharp. I need to feel on my absolute A game. And so there is an abundance of supplements that I take on a day-to-day basis. So whether it's an organ complex, maybe it's my daily greens powders, of course, a probiotic. Vitamin D is one that is so important for brain health. And if our vitamin D levels are inadequate, you're not going to have amazing energy to feel motivated to make these shifts and these changes. And so something that I always make my clients and those of you that are part of the community aware of is that you actually cannot synthesize and uptake your vitamin D effectively if you don't have proper levels of magnesium in your body. So taking a daily magnesium supplement is something that I have been doing for over 3 years, and specifically this very magnesium from Bioptimizers, the Magnesium Breakthrough. So the reason I love the Magnesium Breakthrough is because it has all 7 elemental forms of magnesium. And so I know you hear me say magnesium in the morning with your vitamin D. And so often we think about magnesium just for stress relief and for deep, restful sleep. Now, those forms of magnesium are indeed included in the Bioptimizers Magnesium Breakthrough. However, with all 7 elemental forms of magnesium, you're also getting the magnesium that's necessary for proper brain function, for physical energy, for your mitochondrial health, for ATP. And so it is so important as females, because we tend to burn through our magnesium pretty darn quickly, as females, that we have adequate levels of magnesium, because it is necessary for over 300 enzymatic properties inside of our bodies. So strategic supplementation is a huge non-negotiable for me. It's just something that is part of my life every single day and has been for 16 years. And this Magnesium Breakthrough is most definitely something that I include every single day. So I take one of the Bioptimizers Magnesium Breakthroughs in the morning with my vitamin D. I take one around 2:45 in the afternoon, and then I take 2 before bed, because you cannot show up and 10x your productivity if you're sleep deprived. Now we're going to get to that a little bit later in the video, but if you want to show up every day and wake up before your kids and enjoy the lemon ginger tonic, I would encourage you to be conscientious of the type of sleep you're getting and to use strategic supplementation to help you get that incredible, deep, restful sleep. So if you want to try the Magnesium Breakthrough from Bioptimizers, I will have my link and my code for you in the description box down below, as well as the first pinned comment. So step 2 is our non-negotiables. Let's move on to step 3. That is to set your calendar. Like I said, if you want to make these non-negotiables part of the fabric of your day, put them in your calendar until it becomes a habit. Like I talked about with the healthy foods, I made a Canva. Literally, this was like 14 years ago, 13 years ago. Canva was nowhere where it is today, but I made a Canva PDF that I printed out and had on my refrigerator of superfoods, of phytonutrients, of things, food groups that I wanted to consume on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. Similarly, if you want to make these things the fabric of who you are and integrate them into your routines, schedule them in your calendar. I schedule my walks in my calendar, and I even go as far as the podcast and the audiobooks that I'm listening to. I will put that in the notes of my actual calendar. And so when I schedule a time from 8:30 until 9:15 in the morning to head out and get my steps in first thing in the morning, I will put in there the Audible book that I'm trying to finish. I will put it in there so that I don't forget steps plus X book. So I will schedule it in my calendar, 3K steps plus how to effectively communicate, or whatever audiobook I'm listening to. That visual reminder will work wonders. 1, it uses less executive function. You do not have to remember everything you need to do from a day-to-day basis because it's in your calendar already, and it makes it simple to plug and play. So use your calendar to remind yourself to make a call, to schedule the appointments that you need to make for you or for your family members, to get your steps in, to make your daily greens, to take your supplements. If it's not a habit that you're used to, schedule it in at 9 a.m. Vitamin D plus my Magnesium Breakthrough. 2:45, make a tea, take my Magnesium Breakthrough. At 8:30 at night, make a Tulsi tea, take 2 Magnesium Breakthroughs. This not only is a visual reminder, but it gets your non-negotiables on your calendar via a time block that makes it an actual reality, because you're taking what's in your head and you're putting it in front of your vision. And like I said, it takes less of that executive function to make the decision in real time because it's already set there for you visually and the time is already blocked off. So I always say that if it's not in the calendar, then it's not real. That's the way I approach things, because I'll even say this with my husband, like, did you put it in my calendar? Because if it's not in my calendar, it's actually not happening. I live and breathe by my calendar and my calendar reminders that keep me on schedule. I am a busy person. We all are very busy. We live in a very fast-paced time right now. And instead of fighting against that, I do my best, right, to stay grounded. We're going to talk through those things as well. I do my best to stay grounded and stay productive, but do so in a really effective way. And using your calendar is truly one of the easiest ways to make everything come together seamlessly. So parlaying off the calendar, step 5 is to create a master to-do list. So I just do this in my Apple Notes app. And this is essentially everything that you need to get done that you haven't put into your calendar. And we're gonna follow up on this with our step 6, but step 5 is to get it out of your brain. Because if you are trying to remember everything off the top of your head, no matter how many incredible supplements that you're taking on a day-to-day basis, you're asking so much out of your brain. So I like to free up space. I think about it like deleting photos from my phone, which, oh my gosh, that is one thing that I actually need to make more time for, is deleting photos and videos from my phone. But think of it that way. If you're clogging down the memory on your phone and you can't record things, you can't remember things, you're trying to take a picture, it won't save because there's no space. Think about that with your brain. So I like to create a master to-do list in my Apple Notes. And in here, I just take everything out of my brain in the morning, midday, right before I get the kids off the bus. I'm recording this the second to last day of school. So when you're seeing this, they're already out of school, but I'm going to still have a habit around that. I don't know what it will look like next week, but right now I do this right before the kids get off the bus and then again right before bed. So 3 times a day, I check in on this master to-do list. I take everything out of my brain, I put it in here, and then I pull from my master to-do list and I pop back into step 4 and put it on my calendar. Because why? Remember, if it's on our calendar, then it's real. But this master to-do list takes the weight off of your shoulders. Think of it like a brain dump. You just get everything out and you put it in one place. Things like renew the tabs on your license plate, renew your passport, make that dentist appointment for the kids, join the Living Well membership area for 40 cents a day, 2 weeks for free on me. But all of these things that we need to get done, throw it on this catch-all list, because then it makes it easier when we move into our weekly review that helps us stay clear and organized for the week ahead. And that is my next tip. My next tip is to do a Sunday reset, which I just filmed a Sunday reset. You are going to be seeing that a week from today. So every single Sunday, I do this in the morning and at night after the kids go to bed. So I wake up Sunday mornings, I enjoy my lemon ginger tonic, and I come in here, I look at my master to-do list, and I schedule it in the calendar, or I take care of things in real time that I can. So if it's booking an appointment online, I use that time and I book online if I don't need to speak to somebody because it's like 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. Otherwise, I schedule it in for Monday morning at 8 a.m. This is your time to map out and schedule out all of your priorities. Remember tip number 1, what is your number 1 priority? So everything under this umbrella should help you feel aligned with your top priorities and those non-negotiables that we talked about. And so mapping these priorities, setting up your calendar, really organizing your week ahead is going to help you feel more grounded, less chaotic. You're going to feel like you're actually making real progress towards your priorities, your goals, and your non-negotiables, because you're taking action steps to move the needle and to actually get there. This is truly how I stay consistent without burning out. If I fall off of this plan that I'm sharing with you, and believe you me, I'm a human, there are weeks that those things happen. Somebody's sick, my days get all jumbled up, but I try my best to come back to home base. And even if I can't do this entire system perfectly, I do it in some capacity. And doing this makes me feel anchored. Doing this allows me to be extremely productive. It allows me to produce and feel like the best version of myself, and at the same time, feel my very best. Remember my number 1 priority? I want to feel like the best version of myself from the inside out. And so if I'm not taking the action steps to do that, I cannot get frustrated and I cannot feel disappointed when on a day I don't wake up and I'm not feeling like that version of myself that I strive to be. So I'm designing my days, my weeks, my months to essentially reflect my values. My calendar is reflecting my values. My daily non-negotiables are reflecting my values. And so this is the best way, because when your productivity is linked to anchors that reflect who you are, the fabric of you, it is so much easier to do the tough stuff. And we all have to do it. We all have to do the tough stuff, the things that we don't like to do. But when you can see the path of where you're going and what it's going to do for you and how it's going to make you feel, it is significantly easier to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I hope today's video was helpful. I hope that these strategies help you feel empowered and excited to be the most productive version of yourself without burnout, without feeling the pressure to do it all and to do it all at once. And I hope that this also makes you feel grounded and excited to do the things that help you feel your best on a day-to-day basis. So I would love to hear from you girls. Let me know in the comment section down below, what's your number one priority, or what are your daily non-negotiables that you're going to be working towards to 10x your productivity? Because I'm sure that your inspiration will absolutely inspire the community of women who are watching today's video. And if you like today's video, you can let me know by giving it a big thumbs up. And now the subscribe button is right over here on the screen. Give that a click, that way you don't miss a single video. And I hope to see you back here next Thursday.